Working for Disney is the ultimate dream for numerous child actors. Well, until they get in and realize it's not all a bed of roses. Commonly, it has always been worse for people of color. So what exactly did Zendaya go through at Disney? Especially as a youthful black girl, did Disney really mess her up? When Zendaya started trying out her luck in Hollywood, her pater had to quit his job and move out with her so that he could be present at every investigation, event, and set. That meant that Zendaya's mama had to pick up another job to make sure ends met. And it also meant that Zin had to navigate puberty without her mama. She actually told Glamour in a 2017 interview, "I got my first job on the Disney Channel when I was 13. And it was just me and my pater in an apartment in Town Lay because I was dealing with all the vital girl moments. I flashback getting my period and him not knowing what to do. It was a weird transitional phase. And the job she was talking about, Shake It Up, also came with challenges she in a way anticipated. For starters, Zendaya auditioned for the part of Sichi Jones in Disney's Shake It Up, but the part was given to Bella Thorne, and she got the alternate stylish part, Rocky Blue. Supposedly, Bella was cast indeed, though she had no way danced professionally ahead, and she had to take cotillion classes at least 3 times a week to ameliorate her chops. Zendaya, on the other hand, was formerly a veritably good cotillion. Indeed, before she auditioned for the show, she was introduced to theater and acting as a youthful child because her mama was the house director at the California Shakespeare Theater in Orinda. Because of the exposure, Zim got into dancing and was in a hipsterism pop troupe when she was only 8 times old. Zendaya also appeared as a backup cotillion in a Sears Marketable featuring Selena Gomez. And in 2009, she was also a featured pantomime in the Kiddies Bop music videotape for its cover of the song Hot and Cold. Well, indeed, with the experience, she was still the bone, who was cast as the lead stylish friend in a cotillion show. Times after the show ended, suckers still wondered why Bella was cast as the lead. And one addict wrote, "I am watching Shake It Up during Counter Blockade, and Bella Thorne really cannot. I am cracking up at every cotillion scene. Zendaya was eating her up every time." Another stoner wrote, "I really want to know what Disney allowed made Bella Thorne stand out enough to cast her in Shake It Up, because indeed she said herself she cannot sing or dance, and that was the whole conception of Shake It Up." In response, suckers reflected and said that Bella's skin color stood out. A different Twitter stoner also wrote, "Disney not seeing the pearly gates for how they treat their black women stars. Like, it's veritably egregious and purposeful." Well, indeed though, Zendaya got the alternate stylish part. She ended up loving the part because Rocky was a lot like her. And while talking about the character, she said, "Still, Zin was also bold enough to talk about how her skin color placed her at a disadvantage at Disney." In an interview with Cosmopolitan in 2016, she opened up about the experience on Disney and revealed that some of the people in the company, including her own publicist, were openly racist. She recited an experience when she did not like how her hair looked at a print shoot, and her publicist told her, "You should just be happy with it. They haven't had a black girl on the cover since ever." Wow. And that was the person who was supposed to make sure she landed jobs? That must have really meddled up her tone. Regard? Geez. And it was indeed messier, considering Disney's problematic definition of people of color over the times. For case in Dumbo, one of the crows is named Jim Crow, which happens to be the same name as the set of laws that apply isolation. In Dumbo, faceless black workers also labor to obnoxious lyrics like, "When we get our pay, we throw our plutocrat all down." In Peter Pan, Native people are appertained to as Red DAK, which is a slur against Native Americans. And to make it indeed more obnoxious, the main characters sing a song named "What Makes the Red Man Red." In the Aristocats, there is a cat named Shun Gon, with stereotypical East Asian features, who plays the piano with tablewares. The character is also raised by a white person, singing in an inadequately featured voice. And in Shake It Up, we no way saw Rocky's side of the family. In the time it was eventually revealed, Rocky's mama was shown as a floundering salon proprietor, while Cece's family was shown to be rich and fat. It does not get messier than this, and those are just many exemplifications. The list is literally endless in an attempt to make effects right. Disney began labeling titles with a disclaimer in November 2019, And in 2020, they strengthened the communication, explicitly calling some delineations the original communication in 2019 read. But was that enough? Some suckers did not suppose a disclaimer was enough, and they said that, as always, Disney only watched about making plutocrat. What do you suppose? Anyway, commodity differently that Disney fully meddled up was Zendaya's hair. Zim's hair may look glamorous, but there was a time when she was upset that her hair to unbend it because her natural hair was just not neat enough. Zendaya actually talked about the terrible experience when she told people in 2016, "I have endured hair agonies on the first season of Disney Channel's Shake It Up. Heat styling destroyed my hair. I was only 14 times old, and I did not know how to cover my hair, so it took over 2 times to grow it back, which really smelled." She added that over time, she learned how to duly watch for her hair and partnered with brands that made products to restore. And did you know that Disney is part of the reason why Zendaya did not seriously pursue music? There is generally an implied rule at Disney which requires their child actors to sing, and indeed those without a natural gift are taken through endless music assignments. According to Zendaya, the pressure was just too important and she just did not want to sing presently. Yikes. And when we talk about how Disney meddled up Zendaya, we cannot fail to mention how Zen and Bella were literally forced to contend against each other while rephotographing their show. The 2 stars played stylish musketeers, pursuing their dreams of stardom on Shake It Up. And indeed, though they looked super close on the show that ran from 2010 to 2013, their fellowship off screen was a total agony. Tabloids always compared Zendaya and Bella. Yet to make matters worse, it was not just the public that compared the two. Indeed, Disney directors constantly leveled them against each other. In a 2017 interview with J14, Bella talked about the comparisons and said, "Zendaya and I were put in a veritably unfortunate position where we were kind of forced to contend against each other, which made the whole first season of the show just veritably awkward for us. We wanted to love each other, but yet we were constantly being put against each other. It was who is better at this and who is better at that." Sorely, the goods of the comparisons persisted times after the show ended. For case, in February 2018, 17 Mexico tweeted a side-by-side comparison of Zendaya and Thorne in red camo, asking their followers who wore it better with the hashtag beauty battle. So shady, right? Well, during her time at Disney, Zendaya realized that if she did not fight for herself, no bone differently would. She was literally on her way out after Shake It Up, but Disney still wanted to keep her for a new show. Like, who wouldn't want Zendaya in their product? But for her to stay, Zendaya approached Disney with a list of demands, and she talked about those demands in a 2016 interview with Cosmopolitan. First, she told Disney to change the title of the show from Super Stupendous Katie to KC Undercover. Also, she demanded that the name of the character should be changed from Katie to KC. Another demand, which we go surprised Disney, was that the show would not involve singing. Zendaya also wanted Casey to be different from other Disney conceptions. She expressed how she did not want Casey to be artistically inclined, saying that she told Disney, "There are other effects that a girl can be. I want her to be normal with an extraordinary life." And that is how her character ended up training in martial trades. Zin also said that for her to go back to Disney, the company demanded to make her a patron, and she also claimed that the show should center around a family of color. She said in her interview, "One thing that's really important to me is diversity on the channel. It's hard as a youthful person of a different race or background to look at the television and not see anyone who looks like you. Representation is veritably important." Easily, Zendaya tried to make Disney a better place for people who came after her. But what do you suppose of everything she had to go through? Is Disney any better? Sound off in the comments section below.